something I firmly believe is that Robin Williams's dramas or, thrillers or just non-comedies are often underrated. Because although he's hailed as this fantastic comedic actor, which he absolutely is, he's my favourite actor ever, a lot of his more depressing films are incredible. Unfortunately, I didn't find that this was the case with Seize the Day. This is the 1986 film directed by Fiedler Cook, written by Saul Bellow and Ronald Ribman, and starring, of course, Robin Williams. Now, from a technical perspective, there is nothing wrong with this film. The narrative that we're presented with develops really well. I think it's shot well. The costumes are fine, the lighting is fine, a little bit too much of a dusty colour palette. It's not very appealing or pleasing on the eye, but then it is quite a depressing drama, to be quite frank. So that kind of fits in with the tone. But for me, there was just nothing about the narrative that I found I cared about. I cared about Tommy Wilhelm as a character, played of course by Robin Williams, and I wanted the best for him. But there were no scenarios in this where I kind of was rooting for a certain outcome or was hoping that something went a certain way. It was very much just going through the motions for me. So the description from IMDb is as follows. Tommy Wilhelm is a salesman, an honest, hard-working guy who has lost his job, his girlfriend, and left part of his sanity behind as he heads to New York to pick up the pieces of his life. He's always been able to sell, but caught in a downward spiral, he must, in addition, face the father who never really understood him while trying to balance his newly precarious existence. Yeah, there's the tagline for this is, losers aren't born, they're made. Which I guess makes sense, because it means nobody's born a loser. You may just be considered a loser, as much as I hate that word. It's circumstantial. It's not fixed. You can change your life and change your ways. But I find it quite just so mundane, and I think for me it's just a bit too depressing. Like, I watch films to escape, and, I've said this before, I'll either watch horrors, because they take my mind to somewhere completely different, or I'll watch comedies, because they're fun and entertaining. When it comes to films that are as depressing as this, I just feel as depressed as normal. So for me, it didn't really do anything. It didn't really speak to me. The narrative itself, as I said, felt like it was lacking something. It just wasn't really for me. I do love Robin Williams, and I did enjoy his performance. That's always going to be the case. He could do anything, and I would enjoy it. But the actual film itself it didn't speak to me, and that's fine. I'm perfectly okay with that. I don't need to love every single film he's done, and I'm not going to pretend to. A lot of people, if they're a fan of somebody, they feel like they need to worship everything that person's done. To be quite frank, I'm not going to do that. It's not a terrible film, and I think if it's your kind of film, you'll probably like it, because as I said, every aspect of it is okay. Just as a complete package, it's not for me. 5.9 out of 10 is the average IMDb rating, so it's not very badly received. It does seem to be one that people seem to enjoy to at least some degree. Would I recommend it? Yes, if it seems like your kind of film. If you honestly think you will like this, if you like the darker, grittier, slightly less jolly films, give it a go. Let me know what your thoughts are. Definitely one of my least favourite Robin Williams films, but I still love him, and I always will.